In this video, we're going to watch the amazing Shashi Tharoor talk about Rishi Sunak becoming a Prime Minister of the UK, his thoughts on this, and I'm going to break down some of the brilliant language that he's using and give some examples. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a video.
I think it's extraordinary at multiple levels.
Multiple means many in number. Shashi Tharoor is saying that it is extraordinary at multiple levels that Rishi Sunak is a Prime Minister of the UK.
First, there is the fact that he is not of English or Scots or Anglo-Saxon origin. He is.
Origin means the country, race or social situation that someone comes from. He's saying that Rishi Sunak is not of Anglo-Saxon origin. He is in fact of Indian origin. In other words, his parents or ancestors came from India.
From a different race, namely he's of Indian descent, and that's visible. He's brown-skinned in a country where perhaps 85% of the population are white. And that's really something which is remarkable, to have a person of this kind of background becoming Prime Minister of Britain. The fact that the British have outgrown their own centuries of racial discrimination.
Outgrown here means to lose interest in an idea or activity as you get older. He's saying the British have outgrown their racism,
which they practiced in their colonies during their empire, is a remarkable development. I would say the second significant thing is that his religion is also different. In England, there is an established church. It's the Anglican Christian Church, which is the official religion of the state.
Official means approved by the government or by someone in authority. The official religion of the United Kingdom is Christianity. Church of England is the established church in England,
even though they are otherwise a secular government.
Secular means not having any connection with religion. Although the UK is a Christian country, the government has no connection with religion. It is a secular government.
There is an official religion. Rishi Sunak doesn't practice that. He's an overtly practicing Hindu.
Overtly means in a way that is open and not secret. Rishi Sunak is an overtly practicing Hindu, which means he does not hide that from anyone, which I think is beautiful, by the way.
He took his oath as Chancellor of the Exchequer on the Bhagavad-Gita. He'll presumably do the same thing as Prime Minister.
The Bhagavad-Gita is among the most important religious texts of Hinduism, and Rishi Sunak took his oath on it when he became Chancellor of the Exchequer.
He is somebody who has publicly, even when he was campaigning for the leadership of the Conservative Party, he tweeted pictures of himself performing a Gau Puja. He tweeted pictures of himself praying to Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna is a major Hindu god. Rishi Sunak tweeted pictures of himself praying to Lord Krishna.
This is a man who is completely public about his Hinduism in a country where this has never been seen in a Prime Minister before. It's always been Christian. Even Disraeli, of Jewish origin, was Christian when he became Prime Minister.
Benjamin Disraeli was a Tory politician and Britain's first and only Prime Minister of Jewish origin.
Somebody pointed out that recently in the Queen's funeral, the then Prime Minister Liz Truss read out from the Bible. Will Rishi Sunak do that, they asked. And my answer is, if he's the kind of Hindu that most of us are in India, he would have no problem reading the sacred texts of other faiths, because
something that is sacred is believed to be holy and have a special connection with God. He's saying that Rishi, being a Hindu, should have no problems reading the sacred texts from other religions.
We Hindus are brought up to respect all faiths. So I think he would do that, but I'm just saying it's still a very unusual thing for the British to overlook.
Overlook means to forgive or pretend not to notice something. He's saying it is very unusual for the British to overlook the fact that Rishi Sunak is a Hindu when choosing him as their Prime Minister.
The third factor is his age. He only became an MP for the first time in 2015. Within 5 years, he'd become Finance Minister, Chancellor of the Exchequer, and within 7 years, he's Prime Minister. It's an astonishing growth.
Astonishing means very surprising. He's saying that for someone like Rishi Sunak at the age of 42 to become the Prime Minister only after 7 years in government is astonishing.
I was just thinking that in India, a 42-year-old MP with 7 years experience would be lucky even to be an MOS.
He's using the acronym MOS to talk about the Minister of State in India.
It's our country. So you can see that for Britain, they have outgrown their racism. They have shown a tremendous willingness to absorb and admit
Absorb here means to take in and make part of an existent whole. He's saying that the British have shown a great willingness to absorb someone like Rishi Sunak.
People of other religious faiths, and on top of that, they have looked at merit.
Merit means the good qualities of someone or something that makes you admire them or think that they are important or valuable. He's saying that they've considered Rishi Sunak on merit and not on anything else other than that.
Not age or experience in deciding that he was the right man at a time of economic crisis, somebody with the right financial background and experience, who did a good job as Chancellor of the Exchequer during the COVID pandemic, and they said he's a safe pair of hands.
A safe pair of hands is an idiom which means someone who you can trust to do an important job well without making mistakes. He's saying people think that Rishi Sunak is a safe pair of hands when it comes to leading the country.
Steer the British economy through these difficult times. Merit and ability seem to have been the only criteria.
Criteria, which is the plural of criterion, is a standard by which you judge, decide about or deal with something or someone. In this case, he thinks that merit and ability were the only criteria when choosing Rishi Sunak as a Prime Minister of Great Britain.
For the Conservative MPs who elected him to be their leader. And all of these are lessons for us in India. I would say that we should ourselves be prepared to look beyond some of the considerations of caste and religion.
Caste is a system of dividing Hindu society into classes. Rishi Sunak is saying that stuff like caste and religion should not be considered when choosing someone to lead a country.
Class and language and region and all these things, and recognize that what the country should always reward is merit. Look, Rishi Sunak is a Brit. He is Prime Minister of Britain. His job is going to be to protect and promote the national interest of Britain.
The national interest is what is good or necessary for the safety or success of a country and its people. He's saying that Rishi Sunak will look out for the national interest of Great Britain.
I think it would be wrong of us to expect anything else, and it would be foolish of him as a British Prime Minister to give any particular concessions to India merely because his grandparents were born in undivided India.
A concession is something you give or allow to someone in order to reach an agreement. Shashi Tharoor thinks that Rishi Sunak will not be giving away many concessions to India when negotiating with them.
The fact is that he has obviously an affinity for many things Indian.
If you have an affinity with someone or something, you feel that you are similar to them or that you know and understand them very well. He's saying that Rishi Sunak obviously has an affinity with India.
Married an Indian citizen, his in-laws are the Narayanamurthis, he has all of these connections, but he is still British and we should not expect anything else.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and share it, and please support me. I don't know why the YouTube algorithm is not picking up any of my videos. Please do support me. I put in a lot of effort into these. I hope you're enjoying them, and let me know what you want next.